Hello, traders. Welcome to the stream. Good to see y'all. Hope you had a great 4th of July. Got to see some fireworks, see some barbecue, spend time with friends and family, and celebrate one of the greatest creations of all time, which was the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, which would not exist without all those who fought and died for it in the 1700s. Let's go. Hype in the chat. Unfortunately, looking at Bitcoin, you did break out with confirmation with a candle close for the first time. That happened on the 3rd. You can see it. There's no denying it. But on the 4th and today, right back, slap down below that level, 31K, 31,070 or so. So still stuck within a range between two levels, which is like 30K and 31K, which are both key inflection points from history, just like 28.8 is. That's how it works. Sometimes it be like that. So not really much to go over besides the fact that a breakout happened, but then immediately not broken out. So 47 minutes to your close. It'll be the lowest daily candle close since the 28th of June. No big deal. All right. We understood. We truly understand. Even if a more significant pullback happens here and you're like, oh, it's double topping, it could be, but in order for the trend to become jeopardized, the price would have to fall 20%, and that would take us below 25,350, the previous discernible swing low of this trend you've been in, right, since January 1st or so. It is the new bi-weekly or bi-yearly candle. It is now the second half of the year by a few days, and you just wonder what's going to happen. I mean, the bi-yearly candle was a bullish engulfing, if you forgot. You've been out, gone. 6-month candle. It was massive. It was a huge deal. And that's it. I mean, there's just not much resistance here. I mean, 28.8 this month could be back tested, or not this month, this next 6 months. 28.8 could be back tested first before going higher. But if you're looking at the 6 month, I mean, the overhead resistance is $46,000 and change. $46,000 and change is the golden retrace from the all-time high to the lowest low we saw in November. So, all right. I mean, audio check. Make sure we're okay. Went back to my worst camera so it doesn't freeze every 10 minutes. We're okay. All right, audio's all right. All right, sweet. So that's Bitcoin. I mean, no big deal. No, nothing really special. Ethereum finally made a higher high, and it's great news that 1972 was formally tested as resistance. Now that has not happened since early May. And you just got to worry about one high. I see one high and a higher high, slightly higher high. And, if you look at the 4 hour, I bet there's probably some sort of bearish divergence. Failure to break into the bullish control zone. Gosh dang it. What a joke, man. Over and over and over and over. Failing to break into 60. Okay, so let's look at the 12 hour divergence maybe. Absolutely. I mean, you look at this stuff long enough, you see the wave structures, like, oh, a high, then the pullback, then the higher high that's slight. And that is implying on the 12 hour impending price action reversal to the downside on Ethereum here. And look, RSI also, same situation. I hope it fails. I hope, it's underperforming, trash, can't even be relied upon, and it just breaks upward. But at this point, right here, Ethereum on a 12-hour time scale, probably the 4 hour, I would think as well, telling us that maybe some more downside next before up. That's unfortunate. I wonder if Bitcoin's showing that too. Nah, not really. Bitcoin's not showing it near as clear a high than the higher high. It's not a pronounced pullback. Harder to decipher on Bitcoin, as is tradition. So someone could have an argument on Ethereum or on Bitcoin 12-hour bearish divergence. Only a 4 hour. A 4 hour, really not. It's just so choppy, man. There's nothing really implied on this 4 hour right now. Yeah, so the 12 hour You're at resistance. So again, you got to go to Ethereum, and it's like you're at a resistance, a major inflection point from history that cannot be denied or argued with, because history tells us. How does history look? I mean, it was the highest high of all time, February 2021, and then it was also regarded again August of last year, and then just more recently in May. So you're at it again. That's just bad. Yikes. Oh man, you know, so well, the good news is, I guess, no matter what happens, you're in an uptrend until you fall below 1640. So there's a lot of downside before trend breaks. You just wonder if this 12-hour bearish divergence would give us finally what we desire or covet, which would be some sort of back test before then the move much higher begins, right? So if the TA is respected, we would get something maybe like this, along the lines of that pullback. Maybe we get a back test of everything: the demand line, the supply line that was broken to the falling wedge, and the horizontal line support 1744 that is very, very real. Maybe we get a test, one more test, and we could all go long at 1744 with a really nice edge confirmation low, buying an oversold territory of an uptrend, conceptualized on your chart right here on your screen. You can see it, the white parallel trend lines. Yeah, that's the trend. Okay, so just things to think about. Maybe cautious, but you know, these things just increase the likelihood of it happening, doesn't ensure it. Okay, I am on the side of the bulls. All right, I want the bulls to succeed. You just might get a pullback before going higher. Good to see chat as active as ever. Let's go to BNB. Yeah, again, like, you want to take a chance on an asset like BNB with all that's happening, be my guest, but nope. I hate this. I think this is a dog crap asset right now. You got to read the room. Read the room. CZ has no place in the new crypto world. He has none. All right. The pathetic price action since that engulfing candle the 13th tells you a lot. All right. You're now confirming once and twice that there are just not enough market participants that demand this asset. That's what this means. There's just no one there. Like, sure, there are buyers to prop the price up, but there is no violence. There is no volatility. There is no massive move. It is just stalling after the bids came in. That's a terrible sign. This is the price action. Oh, okay. Huge markups, volatility, crazy moves in price action.
How does FTM look?
What's up, Authority? Thanks for the 20. Well, you know, I was looking at some of these altcoins today. It's bad, man. It's like a lot of them have just, they did these scrub, no rhyme or reason, loser rallies that people blame me for. You were so bearish on, yeah, there were trade setups that hit targets, and then after hitting targets, people bought, and people covered their shorts and took profit on those trade setups, right? I mean, yeah, it's all that's happening. Those rallies are turning into like lower highs. They're turning into bearish back tests of levels that had never been regarded as resistance the first time because it just collapsed. But we're seeing it. I guess we'll look at some of them, but for the most part, everything looks like trash. But yeah, there were a couple that were getting back above key supports and holding those levels, and you know, they were worth mentioning and looking at. You know, so just kind of like the beginning of the year, most had no technical arguments for upside. We just knew if Bitcoin pumped, they were all going to pump. If those ones that were worthy of trade setups are the ones worthy of a, you know, at least saying they had a good technical argument, if they rallied, yeah, well, the losers with no demand, the losers with no edge with technical analysis, they would pump too, and they did. But again, it was like assets pump and dump all the time without any sort of strategic edge, right? There's no inflection point.
Happy July 4th, Mitch. God bless America.
So Golshy, thanks for the 3s. That's right. God bless America. For real. The United States of America. Bill of Rights, Constitution. Founding Fathers. Absolutely. We love them here. We honor them. If you don't appreciate me honoring them and appreciating them, then you should just go to a college campus anywhere in America, or the West for that matter. They're teaching you to hate America, the greatest civilization ever created by far, and it's not even close. So yeah, I mean, if you want to take your chance here, by all means, but remember, this is still an active short bearish trade setup that has hit 2 of the 3 targets. 225 was a target for, oh, you cover your short. Okay, that means you have to buy back. So people bought back. That's a buyback rally, which is a bear flag, really. And this third target is in a really bad, it's at 183, 184. And if you're at 183, 184, oh my God, it is a technical tragedy for BNB that could be seeing $40 pizza parties. So Rome was arguably better. Yeah, but again, man, look at civilization, look outside, look at what's happened, Like time is everything and all that, but look at the technology, the innovations. That's cute. Oh wow, they did well in their time. And of course, Western civilization was all created off of the Roman Empire. I mean, for sure, right? I mean, why did Paris even exist? The Roman Empire. Yeah, it really just a lot of things. But anyway, you get what I'm saying, right? Those places, they didn't have the Bill of Rights, Constitution. They didn't win world wars. Anyway, nor did they create the computer, the internet, electricity. They didn't create that. I mean, there's just so many things that they didn't do. You could say they're better. Yeah, they lasted, nearly 2,000 years from start to finish. And I know it, and people say, no, that's not true. It's like literally, yeah, it went from an empire, or it went from republic to empire and all that. But I'm just saying collectively, all together, it was, the longevity of it was really impressive. And yeah, I mean, I'll say that I think there's so many powers that are against the United States of America right now that have infiltrated the media and institutions of our society that, yeah, I mean, they are accelerating the complete collapse of the United States, and they're doing a great job of it, dividing. I mean, we just now have this, you've just got people on one side of the fence now that believe in objective reality, and then you have another side that just, it doesn't matter if you gave them evidence of the objective reality, they would still say that no. So it's just there is no coming back together in the US at this point. I just don't know how it would take generations of inverse teachings of whatever's been taught in these institutions, these colleges, so long. So anyway, music's fire. Well, it shouldn't be too loud. 30,500 on Bitcoin, 34 minutes to go till the daily close. Remember, it was just a couple of days ago, I pinged everyone, the highest daily candle close on Bitcoin since June 6th, 2022, the anniversary of Operation Overlord, which was D-Day. So that happened just a couple of days ago. So that's fine. Just, yeah, of course. We all know 31,000 is such a line in the sand that it's just not going to be so easy to break. I mean, you've been struggling at this level since we re-engaged with it June 23rd to now. So, and the first time too, couldn't find the demand, or there's too much supply, or both. It's going on. Okay, so BNB, and we'll go to XRP, down 1.85%. Yeah, I mean, again here, could be in a lot better shape. You just got to I mean, this demand line here might be arbitrary anchoring from the most recent lows, because you haven't really caught much, many bids off of it. So we'll see. I mean, like below, if you take off this arbitrary trend line for now, the next support is 40 cents, 41 cents. So, but I mean, Only higher lows with a sell wall, and I mean, someone's out there. They've been accumulating XRP for a long time, but if you think about this asset in a range, it's hit the top of the range a couple of times and has failed. That's very similar to Bitcoin. Has hit 31K and has failed to break it a couple of times now. So, but that doesn't mean it's all over. It could turn into a reaccumulation structure. I just have this trend line here because this is a candidate for what is developing. All right, so down today. A lot of altcoins down today. Storage is down 20%, but it pumped 30% yesterday. Whatever. DGB, well, Maker's down 6.2%. Comp down 5%. Well, GRT, all the ones that were pumping have dumped really bad. Now here's Maker. I mean, still anything above 788 is okay. I mean, a back test to 788 as support would be divine, right? I mean, this is such a real, undeniable inflection point from history from years ago, 5 years ago. Now, if we get some sort of back test there and buyers defend it and you hold, my God, who knows where this could be the bottom and you're going to 1744. But until these things happen, you're just putting in one high and then a second high that's about the same high. Both of these highs are lower than the high from October of last year, from August of last year, and all the other ones. So, though it looks okay, you remember there are definitive things on a chart that have to happen for a trend to reverse. And those things have not happened yet on Maker. Not yet. I think you really need to be breaking 1,050 at these previous highs. Because right now you were just rivaling the previous high. The same high. A wick high. Traders are settling up at the same price they were March 4th. So it's just no trend reversal yet, but keep your eye on 788. Holding that long enough could turn into something far more significant. Okay, like a more major retrace to the big level, $1,744 to $2,000. All right. I'm just looking at some of these that were doing well, and then they dumped. And it's like, look, another situation where has the trend reversed yet? No, not yet, because you are only rivaling your previous high. You are not really taking it out convincingly. You are back below it. You are below the supply line. You're right at that 200-day simple moving average. Just understand the big level here on GRT. Like all of them have their big levels. 10 cents is a big one, I think, from December 2020 that was sprung, and it was back tested as a spring. Okay, so that should be it, right? Okay, well then time to go to 16, 17 cents, right? Not yet. What's up, Israel? Yeah, Retrace. That's such a good movie. Incredible. Imagine. There's a meme. If whoever is in power and in charge to make a movie now, oh, I gotta find it, man. I gotta bring it up because this is literally what would be made now. Because I mean, this cancer started. You know, I mean, like. There was always been the cancer because the Bolsheviks, right? The Bolshevism, the KGB, USSR, spending 90% of their budget to infiltrate Western society, Western institutions with Marxism. But that cancer didn't really start metastasizing until 2008 when the federal government started handing out college degrees, or not really handing them out, but giving. Well, it virtually is, because college at one time used to be this institution where it was not for everyone at all. It was only for the gifted and the smart people that wanted to, get into a specific field like engineering, right? Law, whatever, medicine. But, right around 2008 is when college is for everybody. Everyone should get in debt. And the government is handing out these taxpayer-backed loans for someone to go to school for underwater basket weaving. And then they're 100K in debt. They graduate. There's no return on investment for the degree, but they can't default on the debt because it's the government's, right? So it's just like feudalism, like literal feudalism. You now are a vassal of the state for the rest of your life because you should never have gotten in debt 100 grand. Yeah. So anyway, that's when things really started getting awful. You could just see it now, it's all blossomed. So I was gonna look for that. Quick. Man, it was 4th of July yesterday. Relax, I got all my memes somewhere. Let me find, just read it off. It's hilarious. So anyway, what did you do for 4th of July? Hopefully you got some barbecue. Saw some fireworks. I can't even believe living here. Like, it's just so insane. It was just unstoppable fireworks as far as the eye could see, everywhere in the whole freaking city. So cool. But yeah, man, I don't know if I'll ever find it. I have so many memes. No one's getting a meme by me, man. Yeah, probably never gonna happen. Anyway, we'll just check it out later. Don't want to derail the stream. So this has kind of been the story of the S coins. You know, SNX pump, man. Now it's down 3%. It's only making a lower high. It's only showing hidden bearish divergence, right? So that's good though. That was a reaction. So let the hidden bearish divergence play out. Unfortunately, that means Bitcoin will be selling off some more, and then we get a type 2 return down here. Oh my God, you know, that would be legendary setup. Something like that. Then you get classic bullish divergence on the type 2 return, near an inflection point where one can strategize an entry and a stop loss, and equitable take profits, and all will be well. So no action to take, just to understand that right here, it is implied that a continuation downward is next on SNX. Doesn't mean it's gonna play out. Just saying, there's an edge for downside on some of these coins, right? Okay, anyway, we could just go on all day about it, but no big deal. We can look at Shiba again. You know, Shiba, unfortunately, can't break this candle low close from June of 2022, Black Saturday levels. Yeah,
Love your
unfortunate.
channel.
Hidden bearish
I've been
divergence.
watching for years, but this is my first dono. I've been a trader for years, but you have taught me so much. Marvel hit big. Wondering what you think about EKX hold buy sell.
Isn't it fun, Simo? Thank you for the 20, and thank you for watching all these years, and thanks for the first contribution. But yeah, what are you saying? That's what's so cool about, I think, TA is an individual chart can teach us, right? You know, I'm here like trying to help guide along the way, whatever. I'm your tour guide, but if a chart is showing us all the things we're looking for, that can be, for the viewer, right, for you, that can be the light bulb or the click. You know, when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I ended up stopped playing because it was either band or sports, and I chose sports. But when I was growing up, I played drums for a long time, and I remember when you know, the double tap snare drum roll, like I was practicing, and then eventually it just happened one day, and I didn't do anything different. I didn't feel like I did, and it snapped. And from then on until to this day, I haven't played drums in years. I could pick up drumsticks and do the double tap roll. So it's like, you know, a chart can be when it clicks for you. Everything you're investing in yourself and you're learning, but then all of a sudden this one chart comes around and it makes everything come together. All this data you've been putting together, right? But then something like Marvel comes around, and the most incredible things that could have happened on a chart did happen, where the 2006 previous all-time high was formally back tested twice as support, but then another back test a couple times before Moon. And this one helped make my year. So it's just like things like that you just, I'm learning. I know about support resistance and confirmation lows, and then you look even further left, and it's like, what? Incredible. There's been so many of these too, and I think everyone's had their own click moment on different charts. What chart was it for you? If you truly care about TA, technical analysis, and you're now able, after investing yourself for so long, you're able to do it with self-reliance. You don't need me. I mean, what chart was it for you? And what year was it for you, you know, from watching this stream? Thanks again, Simo. Thank you for being a member of this community. Really appreciate it. One of the lurkers, clearly. You've been a hyper lurker, EQIX. Yeah, we can look at that. Total, real quick.
I like turtles.
Not making higher highs, not really doing anything. Just making higher lows, but not higher highs, and near the resistance, and that's about it. Nothing great here. Nothing actionable. but one bets who's not there yet. You will. You'll get there, I swear. You will get there. And it might take longer than some, but it'll probably not take as long as others. Let's see here. I wouldn't call myself a musician. It was just, I was involved in a lot of extracurricular activity growing up, and I had to drop it. It's not like I had to, I just did. I was like a triathlete. You know, it's like you can't do band and then do 3 sports. It's impossible. There's just not enough time. So, and then I went from a triathlete to just a dual athlete. I ended up dropping baseball for wrestling because wrestling complemented football. So just not, you just priorities. Where was my passion? Well, it wasn't really playing drums. Anyway, so let's just go to this request. Whatever, man. Let's not keep these men waiting. FTM was the first one. We're gonna look. We'll look at these requests. They'll probably be the last ones, but we'll look at some of these entertainment leisure stocks that have just been dynamite lately. They were all implying it for the most part. They were screaming, hey, there is something you could identify here that is implying accumulation, and it might be actionable for long. And it's been playing out brilliantly again. So here's your FTM. He asked, the authority asked, how bad does FTM look? I mean, bad. How bad does it look? Well, I mean, it hit an 88% retrace, I believe, maybe for reaction. Did it even make it to the 886? I don't think so. It did. It hit the 886 perfectly and reacted. But the issue with these reactions, this is why there's just a type 2 return. Scott Kearney, like he's always talking about, like taking the long on the type 2. Why? Because normally there's not an edge on the reaction at the 886. There was no rhyme or reason besides the 886 was achieved. I mean, there was divergence, and then the divergence failed on the dump, and then you pumped, and it was not at a support, it was just above it. It was literally the 886. But, since this rally has been going and started June 11th, going on a month now, you see what's happening on the daily, where any high you pick, any histogram wick from May 20th or June 4th or even April 16th, no matter which one you pick, all of these are lower than this one. So that means there's hidden bullish divergence or hidden bearish divergence everywhere, like no matter what way you look at it. So it can't be argued with. So there's hidden bearish divergence implying a continuation downward. So when you're staring in the face of that on the daily, but you're above a key inflection point, which is 29 cents, I just don't know I don't have much confidence to believe this level will hold up before we draw down one more time. And if we're lucky, we see another test of 21 cents. And then at that point, that's how we'd end up getting bullish divergence on the RSI. We would get the type 2 return of the M shape that is informal. Yeah. That's it. That's your FTM. So how bad does it look? I mean, it's down 5% today. It's above support still, but it's hidden bearish divergence. You just have an alert set up below 29 cents because if you hear the beep, then you're breaking down. You're breaking support, and you might be going for that test of 21. Or maybe we get really lucky and see 19.5 cents. It was never tested. So not great. I mean, again, most of these coins pumped, and nothing implied it based on what's taught here or all over the internet. So maybe if we get one more drawdown and a second test and buyers can defend, and then that would be a successful second test, it might be actionable for more significant upside, deeper retrace. But for now, not really an asset you would want to own. You don't want to go long staring into the face of hidden bearish divergence, even if it went up tomorrow. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, right? I mean, if it's there, can't you just find a chart that is where you wouldn't have to contradict what you've learned? Where you could go to a chart, which they're out there, and literally everything is implying upside. There is no, well, there's hidden bearish divergence in the daily, but your above some more, and there wasn't an edge on the low at the 886. So it's never about predicting what's coming next for any asset or ever. And it's not about what about this asset. It's about how is this asset's argument compared to the thousands of other assets that exist. I'm always going to be looking for the most specimen setup, and I won't care and don't care what market it's on. Find it on a commodity, all right, I'll go long on a commodity if it's the perfect setup over FTM. But if FTM was showing the most impeccable setup, where all the stars were aligning, everything was good, I'd probably put my money in something like FTM if it was, but it's just not right now. So like if, say, FTM pumped tomorrow, and I'm saying, oh, I would just, not saying take action or do anything. I'm just saying like, oh, one would probably want to find a better opportunity. And if it pumped tomorrow, someone would come in here and be like, bro, you were so bearish on FTM. Like, the most low IQ, stupid, crybaby, crap you would hear over and over and over. And it's like, you see people saying that don't even understand what I'm doing here. I think some people don't even have the aptitude to understand. It's not about fortune telling, predictions, or being right. It's just about finding a certain set of variables at key inflection points where we can strategize entries, stop losses, and take profits. We don't even know where the assets are going next, even on successful trades. Crazy, man. All right. Next one, EQIX. Ooh, beautiful little run right here. Oh, you gotta love it though. All right, so a great example of a failed head and shoulders. Oh yeah. This is what happens normally, okay, on failed head and shoulders. First off, it's invalid, right? So the date of May 4th, this head and shoulders argument died. But what's so crazy about it is it ran up a few more days and then dumped, and it went right back down to the neckline of that old potential dead head and shoulders, right? And look, and this is what's tough sometimes about this market, man. I mean, like, look what happened. It was declared, it was confirmed, cemented that a confirmed bearish breakdown with a candle close happened May 24th. Dang, man, that's crazy. And then the next day, what happened? You gapped up to 684, and you've been gone ever since. You just made the highest highs. 52-week highs, highest level since January 4th, highest close since January 4th, 2022. So this is what can happen. I mean, this is why it's like, hey, if you were taking action on it, you'd have been out, right? You'd have been out on May 4th, and you'd have been done. I don't think you would have re-entered, and it was never a confirmed head and shoulders, right? It would have been. It actually became confirmed with just a candle close, but no back test. And the next day, it was like, oh wow, you're back above the neckline. Nope. So where's this thing headed? Well, looks like you got a high at 805, but it looks like with more evidence of inflection at 839. So it might be this high from August 2020, but the big one, the huge levels, 839, 840. You can see how many tests were there. So supply line broke a V shape. This is a V shape recovery. And it's just been gone. And so maybe a deeper retrace is in store. It looks like high to low. Where's the 886? 886, 840. There it is. So that's probably your target. 786 is 801, which is lined up with this high from August 2020. So you're approaching these levels where it would be premium to long. Because, right? I mean, this is an 88% sale, 78% sale for short sellers, but I think, there's not much value buying it right here because we know 786, 886s are potentially major reaction levels where reversals happen all the time. So the last place I'm looking to go long on an asset is when it's at a 786 or an 886. That's just the way it is, man. This way, when it's anchored high to low. When it's low to high, exactly where I'm looking to go long, 886s, right? Double bottoms, inverse head and shoulders, three rising valleys, whatever. Wondering if you should buy more. Well, again, there are probably better assets out there to go long on that are more strategic for buying more of. Okay, so those were 2 requests, the only ones today, guaranteed the last one. But I mean, think about just something like Square. This has been a trade setup since mid-May, and it just saw its highest close since March 22nd of this year. An undeniable, recognizable chart, the M shape, completing where at inflection point from history. That's the dream. That's what you're looking for when you scan. You're looking for the completion of M shapes, double bottoms, crazy stuff going on at inflection points from history. They all line up. That's it. That's the one where one could take action on. So a massive engulfing candle today. Broke that 200-day simple moving average on the 30th, and now we're doing it, man. So a gap fill, the next target at 72.74 for this one. But ultimately, your first target up, the trade setup's like $83. The C point of the M shape. What chart are we on currently? Well, you know, I made this magnifier ticker literally for you, dude. You see it up there in the top right of the chart screen? It's there. You don't even have to ask. You just know. Well, there's premium and there's value, Jay. Right? Value. What is value? Well, an M shape normally gives you the value. Like the PCZs, the pattern price reversal zones, the PRZs, PCZs. I mean, that's like a predictable pattern that is reliable, one of the most reliable patterns if it's identified properly on the market. And it's in itself, like if one's taking action on a harmonics at its completion zone, reversal zone, that inherently is a value trade. It may not be like a huge value trade. It can be like a local value trade, but anything off an 886 is value, even the other way around, right? Like a short at an 88% retrace is value. There's an 88% sale for short sellers. There's an 88% sale for longs, right? So value. Harmonics make it to where you're pigeon-footed into buying kind of at value areas. Okay, the authority. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, hidden bearish divergence, but you're above that level still. So just make sure wherever the pivot's happening right now, like a stop's just right above it to take on minimal losses in case it failed. When the head and shoulders will become invalid and on Google or anything when the right shoulder is taken out. Infinite paradox. So, and really, it's not just that. Hold on, let me show you. All right, the head and shoulders is not invalid until this right shoulder is at 126.30. All right, look here. What's happening now for the first time? Oh, it didn't even do it. It didn't even really do it where the slanted head and shoulders, and it's not really significant. I think underperformance would make sense because the trend's been so good. It's been so bullish, higher highs, higher lows. But again, remember, this where the shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder are at, that's the second profit-taking level of the trade setup. It hasn't even hit the third target yet. But at profit-taking levels, one could almost expect stuff like this to happen. But the good news is, like, the trend's okay, and you're making substantially higher lows for now. No big deal. But yeah, if you really want to know about this 4-hour structure to become completely invalid, a break of 126. Let's say that to be safe. $126. If you break that, invalid structure. Thing is, though, it's valid. It is valid. At this point, it's not failed. It's confirmed as a true pattern because it broke the neckline, but it did not hit the measured move. That doesn't mean, it doesn't have to. It can just underperform. So like a 100% measured move, adequate performance would be 114, but it went as low as 116. So it didn't even get there, but it's not over yet. So I'm saying, like, in order for this to be like a finally dead, like, okay, it performed bad. It did not perform well. But I mean, it's all about 70% of its measured move. It's not a very big pattern. It's 4 hours. We have to go to the 4 hour to really see it. So I wouldn't say like invalid. I would just say like it is now dead. It's now done. Like it's completed. Like structures, like consolidation goes into impulse, and then that's it. It could also turn into something else because normally you're looking for structural developments on the daily. So you don't have to, because flags turn into triangles and they turn into just different stuff when you're on less significant time scales. So that, on the daily is where you're really looking for big structures, Volkowski stuff. Okay. Even still, you can see it a little bit on the daily. It's just not very big. Again, this was a profit taking level. The third profit taking level, the exit of the trade is the 143.886. It's not up to me to. And this is like someone saying, like, should I buy BNB at support? I'm like, I don't know, man. That was a profit taking level for a short. The good news is hidden bullish divergence could develop. If you keep rallying here, you'd get an edge, implying continuation to the upside. That's great. Hidden bullish divergence could be developing a little early, but you're trying. You keep losing this negative momentum, you get closer to neutral, you'll have that hidden divergence, and we might get our third target eventually. Like, right, look, hidden bullish divergence on the last low. This was the entry of the trade setup right here. It was back in March, early March. We'll see if it does it again. All I do, look at that. It's like, oh, is it deja effing vu? Look, there it is. Deja vu, man. Okay. Let's go to the index funds. Flat today. That gap's probably going to fill 4,400, 43.96. You're just in the middle of nowhere. And it's really like, dude, again, if you're looking to swing trade, position trade, look at the individual stocks. Don't look at the index fund. If you want the index fund, just buy them and never look at them. You don't even really need to. We look at them here because it's like, okay, we're just monitoring the index fund. Like we're looking at Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin of the stock market, whatever. Apple really is, my God. Dow Jones, pay attention to this one because this is like a big deal, right? You're so close to breaking a key level. And you just, the last lines, you're still just up there rivaling the same levels you saw since August of last year. So there's classic bearish divergence. It could just turn into more. I can't be sold yet. Too choppy, too much indecision. I'm just going to go to an individual stock so I don't have to ask questions like, oh, what about this though? What about that? Yeah, it's holding support, but it's not making the true higher highs yet. It's just at the top of this range it's been in since December. So I'm just not really sold on it yet. Again, I'm not here to try to predict where things are going either. So 68.9 subs. Yeah, we are close to 69K. Really close, but it's weird, man. It's like I'll grow, and then I'll lose old subs, and then I grow again. It's just I'm flat. I'm just so flat. Yeah, but we are like, what, 100 away or less than 100 away, I think. That'll be a big day, man. Gapped up, gap still not filled, in between two levels, nothing to do. Just to look at and say, wow, same price it was at a couple days ago. IWM, 188's the big one. Can 188 be broken? Nope. Again, second failure. Good God. First time, second time's a charm. Just rolling over a day down 1%. Down 0.1% after hours. I don't know what to tell you, man. Wherever the pullback happens, as long as a higher low than 172 comes in, you're fine still. Again, imagine trying to swing trade this. It's really not you want to go to the individual assets. Individual assets, man. Okay, those are the big ones. So, my silver alert went off today. I haven't actually looked at it. Oh, very, very nice. What's happening, maybe? Are you breaking the resistance? Hold on. I don't know what's... This is a huge deal. Okay. This could be the dragon stuff. One low, then the lower low. The failed bearish breakdown. With confirmation now. One time, no notes. Second time, everyone knows, and it's a lower low, so it could perform amazingly. I bet you there's classic bullish evidence on one of the time scales based on looking at this. There it is on the daily. There it is, man. Okay, great sign on silver for upside, just based on traditional technical analysis. Okay, fact that sellers are exhausted.
Snowflake has been on my watch list. I don't like how it trades, but don't want to miss out. What should I look for?
What's up, Simo? Thanks to 20. Dang, dude, your second super chat ever. You doubled it, man.
Could you look at Google? When is the head and shoulder invalidated?
Oh man, that was so laggy, Infinite. Thanks, dude. Finally got your TTS you desired. Thanks, man. So what was that? Okay. So insane. This could be where someone strategizes an entry. You know, in a way, if you wanted to, sure. You've got kind of everything you want. A supply line from history that takes you back, and look at it. I mean, it's not my opinion. It's just there. February 2021, the first anchor point. You are back above that. A historical ice line of $23.13, $23. A high from 2013. You're back above that. So getting back above two crazy inflection points at the same time, and it's the second failed attempt from sellers to push the price lower, and buyers have defended the 200-day simple moving average, and the trend you've been in is higher highs, higher lows. So all of a sudden, with today's new candle, you've got an argument for a long. You just do. It could fail quick, and that's fine. We are not in the business of predicting outcomes. But you could understand why it might make sense to go long based on everything I just told you. And the problem is, though, with strategizing below the 200, you're probably going to have to settle for, you know, 26 bucks. That might be the only way to do it. But the good news is everything's indicating up next. There is nothing really saying down next on silver. Why would I be going long? You're going long on the candle that invalidated the bearish argument, really. The bearish argument, well, you just back tested $23 as resistance, and you're below looks like you're trying to fall back below the 200-day moving average. There's no real edge yet because there's no, you know, positive or no negative momentum waning yet. It's just building. You can keep going. But all that, the bearish argument's failed. It's dead now. Until you fall back below $23 for real, and the 200, $22.50 would be your cutoff. I think this is an adequate trade setup, just based on the argument that can be presented with traditional technical analysis. I do not know that it's going to go up next, but I am able to identify what just happened today, not yesterday, today. That would be some along the lines of the targets, 26 and 29.77. And if you really were wanting to, it might take a while, but you could go for a third right here. The stage is set. Gonna publish this. Silver, I haven't done a silver trade setup in a long time, man. But it's there. It doesn't matter what chart it is, you understand? This could have been the Google chart or the Amazon chart or the Bitcoin chart. It just doesn't matter. So many technical indicators. That's about it. It's just a tremendous amount of indicators.
Indicators look good on daily, 3D,
oh,
weekly.
Silver. Oh, majestic silver. Oh, we'll look at it, G-Dog. Sweat on in it. Thanks so much for the... Thank you, Dave. My God, dude, it's so laggy today. I don't know. I have to restart my computer or something stupid. This is how it works, though, man. Like, this is how and then, just like that, a piece of data presents itself that makes it actionable. There can be signal days. This could be a signal day. Now, you gotta stay above this level and the 200, but you have a decent amount of leeway here for just small pullback. There it is. Majestic Silver Connect. All right, we have a new day. Look on the lates. Let's go to Bitcoin. Just look at it. Look here, listen. Lowest daily candle close since June 30th or whatever, 29th. No breakout. Only a couple days after your highest daily candle close since, again, June 6th of 2022. That would be 52-week highs 2 days ago. First low, you're on the new day. Negative momentum is rearing its ugly head for the first time since June 16th. Again, a pullback here isn't going to be the end of the world. The end of the world is going to be the end of the trend. The jeopardy of the trend is below 25,350. So a pullback, I mean, a 10% pullback puts, there is nothing wrong with that. Nothing bad happens to Bitcoin if it's down 10% from here. Like, the trend is still intact, still making higher lows. Unfortunate that, buyers just didn't have enough. There was just not quite enough demand, or there was just too much supply at 31,070 right now. That's okay, maybe later. So just saying, no breakout. All right, and then unfortunately on Ethereum, you have 12-hour classic bearish divergence after testing and failing to break 1972. So there could be a pullback in the short term, and that's really not a big deal. You could get some sort of ungodly entry at 1744 for a long. I'm not kidding. Like, if Ethereum came down to 1744 and this demand line, it would be a blessing. It would be an unbelievably good, low risk, high reward opportunity trade setup, but you're just not there yet. So I mean, I just don't think you could want to take a fresh long on Ethereum based on traditional technical analysis and what's implied right now until you get down to those levels. But up here, it just seems like it is implying that down next, not up, but it may underperform or not be reliable. I got it. Just give me, I mean, there's no way this classic bearish divergence plays out if Bitcoin can just rally here. If Bitcoin can actually break 31K, everything's going up, man. Okay. Let's go to AG for GDOC after doing the look on the 8s right there. Majestic. No, it's not Majestic, is it? It is, right? It is. First Majestic. They were first, man. And unfortunate, making your lowest low in a very, very long time. But yeah, I failed bearish breakdown of sorts by the looks of it. Oh yeah, I mean, like, what we had failed, but it's not over yet. I mean, yeah, you're just still down at these levels where, where is the, oh my God, man, this is what GDOG's requesting it for. So there's like this old inflection point that takes you back to the beginning, to Genesis 2007, you know, and that's obviously, once that's there, manufactured, it's going to be there forever. Okay, so you look through history, and yeah, it's been regarded as resistance before collapsing to the lowest lows. Look, it's spring and a back test of a spring before melting up happened. And here we are, right? Unfortunately, this low never really ended up being the lowest low, the type 2. But I am really intrigued by price being above 550, because the closer you are to 550 is the closer you are to maybe some insane entry level. Yeah. So something to monitor, a slightly lower low. Wondering if, like, on the weekly there was divergence here. Oh my God, you know what's happening, GDOG? We had classic bullish divergence. It's now turning into triple bullish divergence. Right, one low, the lower low, then the slightly lower low, like shortening of thrust behavior, meaning like the sellers are so effing exhausted on this lower low, it's extremely weak compared to the previous time. Right, this could be a shortening of thrust situation, and it's all happening at an unreal level from 2007. So, yeah, could be the lowest risk area ever. But again, you know, it's the basement. Who knows how long the scrubs can hang out of these basements? But look at this. I mean, just go back to the last time in history that sellers pushed the price below that inflection point. Look how the low here, oh no, and then finally when it all concluded, and before the markup, the back test of spring there. I guess that was the one I looked at earlier, but I thought there was another. Okay, yeah, so we'll see. It's not dead. It's still in the basement, and it's drawn down from what would be an entry, but maybe the argument for upside has become more compelling with even more divergence. Oh crap! Forgot the Snowflake. What's up, real estate? Thanks for the 10 super chat. Just being nice. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, let's look at Snow. That was a SPAC that doesn't make money. That is just one of those. It wouldn't exist, I don't think, without no interest rate environment for so long. It was it was a piece of fat. But yeah, I know. Let's go back to when I looked at it. Pretty insane looking stuff on Snow. All right, so this was all-time lows. Yeah, I mean, you got to look at this like maybe like a range. Hit the top of the range, really. Oh my God, is that what it is? Ah, yeah. There's just it's tough, man. Underperforming, cannot break a 2021 low. Can't even test the September high or low. September 2020 low, excuse me. So it almost could look at this like a rectangle of sorts. Right, and so if you look at it like a rectangle, you can clearly see you're near the top of the rectangle. So all this bearish divergence is up here. So if you're at the top of a range and buyers are exhausted after failing to break that range top a couple times, chances are it's going to go lower. So that's where we are on Snow. 187 cannot be broken. It's been tested a multitude of times and it's failed. So there could be some more downside, but guess what? It's crazy. This little joke of an uptrend you've got going on lately, it's not in jeopardy until the price falls below 144 or 130. So, I mean, a pullback to the 200 moving average can happen. I mean, there's downside potential despite what happens next, right? Or despite where the pivot is, and it could still be fine. So it's an M shape they completed, but it's just, man, there's just not much demand. Because it'd be breaking these resistances. Just hasn't yet, yeah. At the basement, man, still kind of. Okay. Let's, that was the last request, I believe. Yeah. If we want to, let's take a look at CCL, a completed trade setup with only 2 targets of the 3. Made 52-week highs today. It was actually the highest daily candle close since, probably since March of 2022, March 31st. Second target trade of the trade setup was 1838 or whatever, and $20 would have probably been the third, maybe. But dude, anything above 18 to 20 is $30. So that could be a third target too, really. If you had taken the profit, you could let it ride to $30. So just going insane, melting up. NCLH did the same thing today. Just another day, another 52-week high. After it broke that channel it'd been confined in for a year. But it was all an amazing M shape at all-time lows, crazy enough, right? The 886 and the type 4 return, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, so yeah, again, break into its highest levels since spring of 2022. 2448 seems like the next level. Why? Because that's the old all-time low, the IPO price from 2013. So there could be a lot of upside on this one too. RCL that was like just going insane. Sure had a decent day today at least. He was just sideways. Same price it was at the past few days, but this one had been performing better than all of them. And it came off of the same type of accumulation structure. I don't know, this is taking forever, man. What is going on? There it is. Yeah, just above resistance. It's broken out. It broke the key level, and it's still above it right now. So a target of 130, but a pullback at any time, man, not gonna, be even worried about it if you don't hold 100, because the trend's good and it'll be in a good trend for a while. So, and then we should go to like airlines too, because airlines have been doing fantastic. Delta, here it is. Oh, this course right after the spring back test, the descending broadening wedge was breached in mid-June, and again the highest daily candle close since like April of 2021. So over 2-year highs today, heading on up to $51. That high back from 2015, looking good. AAL, that was just another version of Google. Could have rotated your Google profits into AAL with the same structure, 3 rising values. And again, 52-week highs, highest daily candle close since May 5th of last year, headed to $19. If you ever break that, then you could be going to 26. Incredible. So good, man. DraftKings still just insane, right? I know this was a teaching moment for a lot of people, but this was a specimen. This was the dream. This was, if you could get this on every trade you ever took, you'd be in good shape. If you were able to find an M shape, type 2 returning with bullish divergence, and it's all happening at a key historical level, right, from 2020, whenever, that's what you're looking for. Similar-ish to Marble. This one was a little bit better than Marble because it had everything, man. Okay, so then really what's been impressive to me, I thought hotels were screwed, but dude, Hilton, the buyer's defending the demand line, man. It's like you have to be humble. You cannot be like, I mean, it's still not out of the woods yet, but dude, the buyer's defending this. Let me show you. Waiting. My internet, or it's not even my internet. I think it's just the PC needs to be reset. Look at that, man. The buyer's just getting insane, dude. After the shooting star, the upthrust back test, it's kind of like Ethereum, where like this is all happened, but the next pieces of data we're receiving are buyers defending. Higher lows than the previous lows. The 200-day moving average defended. So it's now becoming, I mean, the bearish argument's still there. The rising wedge is still there, but dang, man, energy kind of the same thing, where it's like you thought they were done for, but buyers are coming in again and making another higher low for now. So, but like, dude, betting against the PEJ, which is all of this combined, all these assets we're looking at, they're doing well. The PEJ, I know it didn't do too well today. I don't really know why. Which weighted asset killed it today, down 1.45%. But 42.23 is a mega level that hasn't been tested truly since February, and I think you'll get another test of that. I think you're going higher on this one, but it just isn't happening yet. Again, sticking with individual stocks is good. So you can see, like, buyers. What was the most recent event? Buyers for the second time locally defending a demand line, an ice line, the 200-day moving average, all at the same time. That's crazy. Okay, all right. I've been live now for an hour and 10 minutes. If you're enjoying the live stream, the like button, the bell, the sub. We're really close to 69,000 subs. I don't know if we'll get there ever again, or ever, really. We've never seen 69K. Still want to find that meme of the Patriot if it was made in 2023. So much self-loathing. I could be able to find it. Oh no. Give it a second. I've completed the TA, man. I've done the TA. So now I'm gonna post one meme out there somewhere. Maybe it's not in my memes folder, which is really bizarre. Patreon's pinned. So if you want to support this 100% crowdsourced stream, get trade setups, charts, education, access to the premium Discord, join the Patreon or the Citadel in the Discord. Those are the single best ways to do that. Dang, man, I guess it's just not in my memes folder, which is crazy, dude. Oh, found it. Let's go, dude. Let's go. I'm gonna post it in general chat and I'll just bring it up. This is what I'm talking about, dude. This is like why, yeah, maybe the Roman Empire far superior to us, because at least they were able to keep it together for more than 200 years, hundreds of years, thousands of years, technically, almost. I'm talking about this, chat. A peace-looks called the Loyalist, right, instead of the Patriot. A peace-loving British officer is forced to raise a corps of American loyalists after a sadistic parliamentary farmer and his evil children begin terrorizing the Carolinas, starring Jason Isaacs, Mel Gibson, and Heath Ledger, 2000. That's what would be made today. They're probably going to make this. Tesla of the moon. Look at Tesla for you real quick. And guess what? Those people that think this, that's what I'm saying. There is no common ground anymore with these people. It's either like you love America, you love what it stands for, you love the founding fathers and what they've created for us, or you don't. And if you don't, I want nothing to do with you. I don't like, that's what's bad. Like, there's an ideology that has now hijacked the other side, right? There's two big parties, right, in America. One's just like dismantle the U.S. and let's become the loyalist. Yeah. Take away guns, open borders, drugs everywhere, obesity, everything terrible. TikTok, all this trash, man. Okay, so Tesla, yeah, highest daily candle close on Tesla since September 28th. So 299 would be the next resistance. I mean, there's nothing here till then. So I don't know if you're going to fill the gap or not, flip your coin. But I'm just showing you $300, $299 and change is the next major level. Okay. You wouldn't even ask that question if you were listening to me at Georgetown, Felix. Yeah, just a little bit of cocaine in the White House. Cocaine in the White House. Which actually makes like the most sense in the world because it's called the White House, right? I mean, no one ever thought about that. But, dude, that's... And then, like, you know, what was the other thing?
To the moon.
Like the
Rocket,
trans person, like,
the
and decent exposure at the White House, on the campus, on the property. I mean, that stuff is where we are now. Of course, no one likes... I mean, no one that... truly loves America likes that stuff. It's so bad. Great song, though. I love the trumpet, man. So amazing. Yeah, dude. So again, on Bitcoin, a failed breakout again. A failed breakout attempt, and negative memos beginning to show classic bearish divergence on Ethereum, unfortunately, after testing a key inflection point that implies maybe some more downside, but not like extreme, not like, oh, we're going to zero, oh, I'm so bearish. No, I'm just saying like what the data is saying right now. Let's see what happens. Adrian, yeah, it's funny. I read today, and I don't know if it's really true, but out of the 13 colonies that voted to become truly independent, New York was the only one that actually abstained from voting to become an independent nation. Wow. New York abstained from that vote. So thanks for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. I'll just be back. Wait, did I look at... Yeah, I looked at Tesla. All right, so till next time, respect the T-A.